have the distinct honor of moderating this panel of these brothers. Give a hand to these brothers real quick, if y'all would. You know, it's something special about seeing black men in vulnerable spaces, and we don't get this opportunity a lot. So thank you to Tamika and Yamoria for allowing us the space to just be ourselves. And to be that in this space is very humbling. So, brothers, thank y'all for being here and being vulnerable with me. And without further ado, I want to start off with a question. Whoever wants to take this one, please take it in whatever way you see fit. How are you?
Wow. I would say I am happy that I am alive today and that I am here. Necessities are taken care of. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. So I'm doing good, brother.
Good. How you feeling, Armie, man? Talk to me.
I'll say that today is the best day of my life. Every day above ground is the best day of your life because you're here, and God gave us this day. So I'm feeling good. I'm not going to let the world beat me down. It's been trying to, but it's not going to happen.
Brother Jalen.
I would say I'm okay. Not too high, not too low, but I wouldn't say I'm great. I'm okay.
Really simply put, definitely in a good place right now. Last couple of years been difficult. I'm not going to sit here and lie to anyone. Today's a good day. I'm here. I'm breathing. I'm healthy. I'm good.
Beautiful. So I want to, and
Wait.
I'll answer
How
the
are you,
question
though?
myself. I'm going to answer the question myself.
Hold on now, player. Hold on.
I can't be the moderator and not do all of it, right? You know, in full transparency, I was not good when I got here. You know, I think between the weather and, you know, I had spilled coffee on my shirt. My girl had the Tide wipes in the car, so she over here scrubbing like, it's all gonna be good. It's all gonna be good. So it's like, you know, I had to reframe my mentality to be the vulnerable person that I need to be in here today. And with that being said, I invite y'all to take y'all armor off. And I think that we as black men don't have opportunities to really get deep with ourselves. We get so surface level. We allow ourselves to be surface level because we can't show weakness, right? We don't have the luxury of being weak in spaces where we are supposed to be the strong, we're supposed to be the leader, we're supposed to be the example. But almost like how the sisters led us in this program, sometimes it takes us to be led to that place of weakness. So I invite you in this space to take that armor off, to be yourself, to be your most authentic self, and to allow for your words to be God's words. Let those flow through you. And this space is about affirming that, correct? We're about affirming that in this space. So please, as we move and navigate, the things that you feel are valid, you are seen, you are heard, and you are felt in this space. So thank you for telling me how y'all doing. And let's get into the meat and potatoes, bro. Let's talk about the why. And I think that you had started with a very, powerful statement into how are you, but tell me a little bit more about why you feel the way that you feel.
So really the last couple years have been growing for me. Growing means growing pains. So it's not always the happy moments that have been helping me evolve. It's actually been the hard times. I've been on lots of hard times. Literally like a week ago, I was on the beach in Jersey, like crying my eyes out to God, like send me something because, I'm tired. And I know my partner's here now. She knows when I say I'm tired. Like I can't be strong anymore. I can't fight anymore. Like I'm tired. Like I need somebody to come rescue me. So, it's definitely one of those moments where I made it through that day. I was ready, like, just take me now. Seriously, like, I can't do it. Take me. And I made it through that day, and it's a new day, and I'm here. That's what I said, like, I'm here. And that's the hardest thing to get through is one day at a time. It's easy. It's actually, to me, it's harder said than done in a sense.
Absolutely. And I don't know if we want to just take that one down the line or if we want to do things one by one. I'll let the panel kind of tell me how you want to navigate that space. Because I want to definitely talk to you, brother. I want to hear what you got to say, and I want to affirm you that I'm happy you're here. Above anything else, I'm happy that you decided to open your eyes another day because it does get difficult out here. But I also want to make sure that we give these brothers an opportunity because I'll dive into it. I will. But, I definitely want to hear where the why is for everybody. You said you're okay, brother. Why are you just okay?
I love how you started with inviting us to take off the armor. I feel like I put on the armor every day, and that hasn't been good hygiene for me. So I'm in the wilderness of figuring out like what is better hygiene for myself. And I'm not just saying hygiene like maybe sometimes did you shower today, did you brush your teeth, but like hygiene for me is like I'll be asking myself, am I depressed? Do I need a haircut? Right? Like what's going on? Right? Why am I feeling this way?
Right.
And then there's also like the spiritual hygiene of like, who am I spending my time with? How am I spending my time? Like, am I being a good steward over my life? Or am I trying to use this armor as protection to not let people into how I'm actually feeling? And that gets exhausting. You talked about being tired. Like, the more you don't give yourself the opportunity to express, like, you will kill yourself from the inside out. And so I say I'm okay because I'm coming out of the other side of like, okay, you in the wilderness, but like, did you pray today? Did you reach out to somebody? Are you expressing yourself? And that is not a one-time thing for me, right? Like, this is a daily practice. And I know you said you're gonna talk about God. Like, when we talk about or think about daily bread, it's not weekly bread. It's not monthly bread. Every day we have to be nurturing ourselves. And that's hard to do every day, but that's the task in front of us.
The reason why I would say like I'm doing well today is probably because I went to the gym this morning, to be honest. Yeah, the good hygiene, exactly. I think right now I'm really in a space of trying to establish a rhythm for myself to start my day. Whether that's going to the gym, being mindful of what I'm eating, being mindful of the music I'm consuming, being mindful of what I'm visually consuming as well. And I think because I did all the right things today and God blessed me with that, I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. So.
For sure, that's good, brother.
Thank you.
Talk to me.
I mean, I know I said today was the best day of my life, but like, honestly, like being up here, I want to examine like, we talk about wearing armor, and that's to protect us a lot of times from the outside, a lot of things that people are giving us, the world, racism, white people, all types of things, right? But sometimes I wear the armor to protect me from myself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to look at myself and look at how I've been not doing the right things. Like you brothers talk about the music, the influences. Like, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to look at how destructive I've been, the people I might have hurt. And, you know, so I've had some family issues lately, you know what I mean? And I live in California. My family's on the East Coast. They're in North Carolina. And not being there for them, not being around, you know what I mean? And, like, that really hurt me, you know what I mean? I woke up one night, in the middle of the night, like 4 a.m., and I ran out of my apartment in Hollywood. I probably look like one of the homeless people that you see, right? And I'm in some bushes crying I haven't cried since 2017, maybe, crying my eyes out. And I just called my mom. And I'm like, yo, I need you. Just like how brother, like how you said, I was like, yo, I needed to hear your voice. I needed to talk to you. And I need to say I'm sorry. You know what I mean? And like, now I feel like, you know, it's put me in a space where I can be more vulnerable, and I want to be more open, and I want to be more conscious and have just more of a more intentionality on how I'm feeling, how I'm really asking myself, how am I doing? You know what I mean? And so yeah, I want to take the armor off myself.
Sure. And I think that level of transparency, and I think that that's something that we as a black community, specifically our men in this community or our male identifying individuals in this community, have such a odd relationship with being transparent about those feelings. And, you know, I talk about accountability so often, and I sometimes lack accountability for how I perceive my feelings and emotions. Is something momentary, or is it actually something that I need to really sit through and process? And one of the biggest things for me personally has been therapy. Like, I've been to therapy in so many different instances in my life, just to talk to somebody non-biased about things that you're experiencing, not only as a black man, but as somebody that's pursuing industry, someone that's pursuing, like, and also like our relationship with success, right? Like, you could have all these accolades and things that you've done and monuments that you've created to your legacy, but when you're sitting at the home by yourself, when you're sitting in that room by yourself, and you talked about you haven't been able to really release emotionally since 2017, brother. And like the fact that you finally felt that you could is such a powerful thing. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the tools that we utilize. Are you utilizing any tools? And it's like the things that you're feeling, brother, and anybody that wants to jump in at this point, what tools do you utilize to self-care?
I mean, for me personally, and just to give you background, like I'm also 13 years previous law enforcement. So on top of my childhood, I still have traumas from my childhood that I'm not healed over. There's definitely things that I need to go back and, I need the tools now. I'm about to be 45 next week, but to go back and heal 7-year-old me so that I don't keep responding today as I would back then. I'm being triggered into responding as 7-year-old me. Right. And, that's, the tools that I'm getting now are not just for what I'm going through now, it's from all the unhealed parts of me even from my childhood up until now. So it's like therapy is huge. I'm not sure what everyone's take on it, but, I expressed it to a few people. It's great. Therapy is great, but for me, like I didn't have a father. It would be great to have another strong black male in front of me, give me that words of advice and encouragement, things that I need to hear, but the field isn't that open. So when you search for a black therapist, male therapist, it's hard. And what I'm left with is what I'm left with. So, it's definitely, there's tools out there available, just, I wish there were more.
And I think that we have the responsibility of when we have those tools, we share those tools, right? I think that we sometimes get so siloed in our own beliefs, our own things that we find. Like I find a good black therapist, I'm like, that's my therapist. I can't share this with nobody. But, I think that when we do find those opportunities to share those things, like I would love to connect you with somebody that I've worked with that's a black therapist to get that person in front of you so you can get the support that you need. That's what we do as brothers. And to have somebody that might not be in front of you, but someone that's going to walk beside you in those things is something that we can offer as support as people in this space. We were assembled on this panel for a reason. And if that reason is to help you find those things that you're looking for, then that is a low-hanging fruit on the way to making sure that you are well to open your eyes for another day. Yeah. Absolutely. So
I appreciate that.
Talk to me. What tools are you utilizing? Anybody?
I would say community. I like what you said about that isolation piece. Like because of the pressure, because of not being vulnerable, sometimes for myself, I believe the lie that I'm the only one going through this. No one else is going through this. And so because of that, I'm telling myself, well, I can't even go out to get help because no one understands, and that's a lie. For me, community has been huge, particularly like there's a group of men at my church that get together and talk about problems. And as I'm hearing some of these talks on like Saturday mornings, it's like, oh, you're also going through this thing. I'm not alone. And so that space to express myself, but then also get advice for how other people have navigated the same thing that I'm feeling that I didn't think that anyone else is feeling because I'm isolating myself or I'm thinking like, this is too much for anyone to understand. It's just a lie. And so, I mean, even knowing you, for example, surrounding myself with people who have capacity or who are being honest and vulnerable to help, to listen, to share, to offer resources is super important. So community, I talked about it in the church sense. I also feel a level of expression when I'm like playing basketball or going in karaoke, whatever the case is. Obviously, these are different things. Everyone is different. They need different opportunities or avenues to express themselves. But whenever I find myself in community, that pressure, that weight feels a little bit lighter.
Sean?
Similar to you, I definitely think finding that community is super important, but I wouldn't say tool, but person that I have really relied on is my girlfriend, Diasha, who has really held me down these past few. Stand up, babe. Stand up, babe. Come on, stand up. Come on. All right, never mind. She being modest. But she really, I come to her and I ask her like, yo, am I tripping about the situation? Right? Like, one thing I really learned is about my ego. And I feel like ego is really like sometimes the root of the problems that we have. And I feel like the fact that I can bounce ideas off of her and get a woman's perspective about a situation really allows me to reflect on myself and be like, okay, maybe I am tripping on this situation. She'll ask me like, well, why did you react that way? So sometimes if I get flustered or if I get angry about a situation, I don't immediately react to that person, whether it's through text, email, phone call, whatever it is. I take that extra moment to reflect and be like, what is it that they said that triggered me? And I learned that from her, to be honest. So that's something I'm very thankful for.
Right. And to full circle this moment, right, Sean is the person that I go to when I'm like, yo, am I tweaking about this? Like, is this something? And you know, I've called Jalen my spiritual accountability partner in so many different scenarios, because these are two people that I've known prior to this place that I have leaned on in community because I don't always get the resources, especially from black men. So it's just like to hear that you all deal with the same problems that y'all help me deal with. It's really profound. So thank y'all for always being there for me, bro. Armie, what you thinking? What's the deal?
Well, one thing I learned is community, because I've always been a loner. Like, I don't know whether it's because of ego or what, but I'm a know-it-all. And I think that I know everything. So I'm like, I can't go to nobody that knows more than me. So, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of times when I'm dealing with stuff, I sit and I ask myself those questions. All right, Armie, why are you tripping? Why are you know what I mean? And that's crazy. I can't you know what I mean? Like, I'm speaking in a vacuum at that point, right? I'm not, you know what I mean? Sometimes it helps a lot, oftentimes maybe it doesn't. But what I found lately was really been helping me is talking with my dad. Me and my dad have not had the best relationship. My mom and dad are divorced. They've been divorced since I was 2 years old because he loved drugs to the point where he left me in a car seat one time, you know what I mean, and ran after some guy to get some drugs in the middle of the night, and I'm sitting as a baby in a car seat in the middle of the street. So, you know, we haven't, throughout the years, like, we've had conversations and stuff, and I've always felt like I've been parenting him, you know what I mean? And maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, that switched, and like, he was insightful, and he had knowledge and wisdom and good advice for once. And I'm like, am I talking to the same nigga? Like, what's up? You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, like,
yeah, that's it. That's it.
I'm like, whoa. And, you know, he confided in me one night. He was like, I've been clean. And it clicked. I was like, oh, that was that moment. So, you know, he's been a completely different person in my life, and I think he's healing and has been allowing me to heal. We've both been kind of healing, and, you know, he's finally becoming the person that I've needed. You know what I mean? That father that I've needed, and, you know, we talk all the time now. Like, that's my dog. So, you know, that's been the biggest thing for me. But, you know, I wanna get into therapy. I wanna find a therapist. I'm scared to talk to someone one-on-one. I want to do like group therapy, like it's a way, like, you know what I mean? Can you brothers come with me? Can we like do it like this? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
only if the homie do it.
Yeah, the homies do it. I feel more comfortable, like, you know what I mean? Like, sit and talk to someone one-on-one. I don't know. I might put that shield back up again, you know? So that's what I want to learn next.
But don't you think it's interesting how, like, the older that you get, the relation, like the way you view your parents or your mentor changes as well?
Oof.
You're just like, oh, you're doing life for the first time too. Like, you don't have it perfectly plotted out. So let me give you a little bit of grace and a little bit of mercy too, because sometimes the shit that I'm, you know, dealing with, not that it doesn't compare, but it's just like, let me just be a little more patient and kind with you as well.
Sure. And I think that we see these people as superheroes.
We really
right?
do.
Like, there is no way that this person could ever wrong me until you sitting in the face of somebody and they wronging you for the very first time. Yeah. It's just like, you know, and I've experienced that in recent years, recent days, experiencing that and having to reframe my relationship with my parents, with my family, and these are things that I used to deal with by myself.
Yeah.
Like, to sit in a room in the dark and be like, I am dealing with a lot. But it's like, I think partnership is so important. My girl is my rock in a lot of these situations. My woman is my rock in these situations. And like, to know that I have somebody that's God-fearing and can really walk in that space with me and know that it is okay. Sometimes we don't even think it's okay to be not okay. So it's like, I really want to talk about the expression of the importance of partnership and relationship. And this could be platonic, it could be spiritual, it could be romantic relationships, but why are relationships important on your wellness journey? We love with the.
Now that's a good question. I'm gonna say for me currently, it's been eye-opening. I've been able to now, with my partner, really look in the mirror. Literally, she had me look in the mirror yesterday, and come to terms with a lot of things that I refuse to look at. I think I'm fine. I think I'm okay. But then really, I do know, again, like I said before, there's parts of me that are unhealed that I need to really work on, because in order for me to give the best version of me to anyone, I need to be the best version of myself to myself first.
That's right.
And, as much as I want to give and love, and just not to her, but just my family, I need to do the work. I'm finally in a place where I have someone who I can trust, because as a man, I'm just going to be real with you. It's hard to trust anybody with my feelings, because I don't know what they're going to do with it, or going to, as soon as we on bad terms, throw it, So it's hard really to express my feelings, but now to be in a safe space to share and have someone to open mind and lead me down that path. Like, no, this is what you do. I mean, partnership, safe space is definitely huge.
+1 to that. My partner's in the audience as well. And there's something about women that's like nurturing and things that we don't see. They see our blind spots. What you need work on, it requires you to practice that. Like, you don't just wake up one day and you're vulnerable. You don't just wake up one day and you have grace. You don't just wake up one day and you're patient. It takes repetition. And you can't get reps if you're not in a relationship, whether that's platonic or romantic. I was sharing with BP before this, like, I was trying to get better at pull-ups one time, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna try to do this exercise to get better at pull-ups. So I asked, like, what exercises can I work on to get better at pull-ups? And the answer I got was, more pull-ups. And I'm like, but I'm bad at pull-ups. Why would this thing make me get better? But again, like, you can't shortcut your way to growth. And in partnership, like, that's that hourly, secondly, daily mirror. Like, here is how you are showing up, and you can't see it because you're not in your body, but like, because I love you, I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna work with this through you. And that takes a level of trust, patience, faith, and grace that I myself have been learning. Like, ooh, okay, now that I know that that capacity exists for me, how can I do that for her, but then also exercise that for people around me? Because I believe how you do one thing is how you do most, if not all things. And if I'm not showing up in a space of trust and love with patience, grace, etc., then like, I'm probably not doing it at work. I'm probably not doing it at church. I'm probably not doing it with my friends. And so to know and have an identifier to be like, hey, psst, you need help in this area? I love you, so I'm telling you, but like, let's work on this together. So that's why it's important for me.
For sure. It's almost like, and I'll say this jokingly, but I mean it, it's almost like when somebody needs some deodorant. It's just like, you know somebody really care about you when they can tap you on the side and be like, hey, bro, it's time to put a little Dove on, But it's like, we don't know. Like, we don't know that we're doing it. So it's like, it's so hard at times to see that you've been doing something so often that it becomes your norm. And your norm becomes off balance, especially when you, from a biblical sense, are trying to become someone's head of household, trying to be someone's leader, trying to be something like, you cannot pour from a cracked vessel. You cannot pour from an empty vessel. That filling will always be without foundation. And to understand your foundation is to understand that 7-year-old self that's dealing with those traumas and those things that they need to recover from. It's dealing with those ego deaths that we oftentimes overlook when we're thinking that we have to achieve at this high level in order for us to maintain the relationships that we're looking to maintain or the people that we're trying to keep it up with. So as we're going through these, it's the community part that we have on this stage should supersede this stage. And it is something that you can rely on people that sit next to you and say, like, hey, brother, you need to work on that. That's not. But it's also making sure that you're the right messenger. And we talked about that in the back, too. Like, just because you are a person that talks about this doesn't mean that you are the right person to talk about this with everybody that you talk about it with. So that was a small deviation. Back to you, Sean. Talk to me.
Can you repeat the question for me?
You know what? Yeah, what was the importance of partnerships? Platonic, romantic, spiritual?
I think it's the reaffirming that you're not doing this alone, and that you have someone that respects that you're taking that armor off, and they're getting the most vulnerable person out of you. And I think that when it comes to the vulnerability, whether you're having someone like show you what that vulnerability is or whatever, you can then move forward like with the appropriate boundaries that you need for yourself. I think that's one thing that as black men we need to do so much better of, is putting up those boundaries, whether it's with your homies, whether it's with your girl, other relationships, business relationships, because I'm a people pleaser and I have burned myself out by not putting up those boundaries. And it has cost me in the end. It's cost me my happiness. It's cost me my peace of mind, to the point where I'm at night grinding my teeth. My girlfriend talked to me the next morning like, you were grinding your teeth last night. I'm like, damn, that means I'm stressed the fuck out about something. And I think it's really important. And I'm probably stressed out because I didn't put up a boundary to myself.
Sure.
So that's how I know that I really need to work on myself and put up a boundary and continue taking that armor off so that I know how to proceed moving forward.
Absolutely.
That's real. That's real. Damn. I feel like the importance of relationship in my life is a relationship is a mirror, right? Because I have a dog, I have plants, I have, and if my dog is not doing well, I need to put the mirror up to myself and see how am I taking care of my dog? How am I taking care of my friends? How am I taking care of lovers? How am I taking care of these plants? These plants are dying. And, it's a reflection. And I feel like, having a partner or having someone who cares about you, they have your best interests at heart. And they're gonna look out for you in all types of ways and, make sure that you're showing up as your best self. Like I can give you a very distinct example of, so I'm a long distance dad and my daughter, she lives in North Carolina. And I remember a very distinct moment. Me and my ex-girlfriend, we're in the house and she's like, yo, when the last time you talked to your daughter? And I'm like, we talk all the time. What are you talking about? She's like, Armie, I live with you, and I've never heard a conversation between the two of you. And I was like, that to me, that just, I was like, whoa, like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, am I being the best father that I can be right now? I'm not. If my partner, my person who I'm spending the most time with can say that, you know what I mean? What does that say about me and the way that I'm showing up? So, accountability, having someone that can keep you accountable. And you know what I mean? Because we try to fight it. Oh, no, what are you talking about, man? When I'm on a walk, when I'm outside, you know what I mean? When I'm walking the dog, like, what you mean? Like, but I ain't want to hear it in the moment. But, when you go outside or you're in the shower, you're like, man, motherfucker was right. Part of my language, yeah. So yeah, I think relationships are super important, and as I'm getting older, I'm learning how to nurture them better, because I've not been great at that.
So I see my friend with the sign telling me that I gotta. Oh yeah, we have the 1 minute mark. So I definitely want to leave room for questions. Talk to us. Where we at? Yes, ma'am.
This is beautiful. First, as a woman, a black woman who loves black men, both romantically and just in general, congratulations on allowing yourself space to feel safe in a room full of women as you talk as black men, because that ain't easy. But my question, so I'll say this time, as a black woman who has been working on her own healing journey, really showing up for herself better, showing up, wanting to show up for a partner, whoever that partner may be, whatever time better. What can we do to better support you all in whatever way, romantic, platonic, what have you, when you don't know what is wrong? Because I feel like there's a lot of times where men, something's wrong, but maybe you haven't put your finger on it. And as women, we're like, but something's not right. And like, so what can we do to support you when you don't have the language, but need the support?
Anybody want to take that one? I can give my best shot at it. I will sometimes wake up in the middle of the night in an absolute panic for reasons unknown. And sometimes, my partner's name is India. Sometimes she'll shake me like, baby, like, wake up. And I'm like, huh? She was like, what's going on? I was just like, I don't know. I just feel very anxious. And she'll tell me like, you need to breathe. And oftentimes it's not about figuring out what's wrong, but it's about weathering that storm together.
Yes. Yeah.
And finding the way out of that place of wrath and tears, right, is what we sometimes need more than anything else in the world. I'm not looking for a problem solver. I'm looking for a navigator. I'm looking for somebody that will help me do those things. So there might be some times that we can go piece through bit by bit about why did you feel that way? How did this happen? What was the trigger? But sometimes it's like, it's all right. We're going to be all right.
So just be there.
Being present, being there, and being a comfort, be a safe space. Absolutely.
Yeah, can I definitely, for me personally, and again, this goes back to a child. Like, it's always little me. It's always little Jeremiah that needs that, that moment. And for me, it's always, I just want someone to come and hug me, tell me it's going to be okay. I don't want you to fix the problem. Just come to me. Just like, look, you're safe here. What we're going through or what you're going through, it's a moment. You're either in the storm, going in the storm, or coming out, but you're going to be okay. And that's, as a man, it's like, for us not knowing, like, we're always supposed to be that strong, like, we're going to survive this, but sometimes that we just don't know. And we need someone, our partners, to come and say, hug us, kiss us, you're going to be okay. That is the greatest and most empowering moment for myself. I don't know about anyone else, for me to have, because then I feel like I just drank like a V8 or something. I don't know. And, I'm ready to take on the world, but that's for me specifically. So just knowing that it's going to be okay. That's all I need to hear.
I would add on to that just the acknowledgement. Like,
I'm going to close out, I promise.
I see you going through this. I see you going through this. And to what they said, I'm here, right? You don't have to solve the problem. You don't have to piece it piece by piece, but I see you. Because a lot of times, given the various places we travel or are in, we don't always feel seen, right? And so to know that the person that we are in close proximity to sees us, that's a win. That's a win.
I'm going to close out because I done seen that sign. You done told me to get done. So I want to give the brothers on the panel an opportunity to, one, tell us where we can continue to see you and follow your journey, and leave us with some type of closing remark, closing thought about how we can continue to support one another, or just where you are in life.
I guess I'll go first.
Go for it.
So social media is, I don't even know, what is my Instagram? I change it every, I don't know.
What a question. What is my Instagram?
Yeah, or if something with official, I'm officials, yeah, it's my name.
Come on, official.
Yeah, so you could, but the main thing is actually not just for the crowd, but actually for everyone up here, because I do feel like I'm the oldest up here. I'm pretty sure. But the main thing is, just like everyone's saying, is create a space that is safe for us. Because the one thing that I've been praying about for years, is to be in a space where I could be up on the stage or even hanging out, it's just us as men being free with expressing ourselves. It ain't no funny, it's just, like, look, are you good? Like, really check in with people. Check in with your brother. We call each other brothers and bro, but are we really showing up as that? So make sure that you're showing up as that to people who you call your brothers, because again, as much as I would love to have like my partner come and hug me and say it's going to be okay, dude, I would love to have one of my boys come like, bro, are you good? I know something ain't right, you know what I mean? And really take that. So like moving forward, even leaving here today, each one teach one. We got to bring up like the generations that are coming up behind us. So just make sure I love what everyone up here is doing. Just keep doing it, and glad to share the space with you.
I don't know if the thing is up. At Jalen Blot on everything. Two things I want to leave y'all with is, first, whatever it is up here or out there, keep the main thing the main thing. If that's your mental health, physical health, whatever, keep it the main thing. And second, ask for help. That's one of the most powerful things you can do, so just ask for help.
You can follow me on. Appreciate
dead
it.
mic
Thank you,
down.
brother. I know,
There
right?
you go.
Shit, crazy. You can follow me on Instagram at Sean Bartley. That's at SeanBartley. And two things that I would leave you with is one, continue to lead with love, and two, respect your boundaries.
There you go.
Y'all can find me on social media at Armie_strong. That's ARMIE_strong. And the thing I'll leave everyone with is that heal people heal people. So if you see someone out there, just broken people like me who need healing, come talk to me, come help me. Help heal me. But yeah, that's just what I'll leave y'all with, man. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
And I guess the last thing that I will leave y'all with is my social medias. I'm BP Edwards. That's BP Edwards DOP on social media. And I like a call and response. I love a good call and response. So if y'all bear with me for a second, raise your hand if you want to be successful. Just raise your hand. Raise it higher. Rate it as high as you can. Sometimes you need somebody to tell you something multiple times to push you to the level that you were supposed to do it the first time. So allow for yourself to be pushed by self the first time and never forget that you could always lock the elbow. Okay. That is my story and I'm sticking to it. Thank you all so much. Okay. All right. Thank you, Euphoria. Thank you, Tamika. Thank you, SoulCanvas. Thank you to Emerson College. Thank you to the sponsors. Thank you to everybody that made this great. Y'all are wonderful humans. Good night.